Hi, this is Nathan Tintle. In this Learning Goal video, we're going to talk about how to interpret information revealed by a histogram or dot plot. We will use the estimating elapsed time data to talk about this learning goal. Here's a dot plot showing the 48 estimated lengths. How would you describe this distribution? There's 4 characteristics to look at: shape, center, variability, and unusual observations. Let's start with shape. This is not symmetric. We would call it a right-skewed distribution, and we might go on and also talk about the fact that multiples of 5, like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, are common guesses in this data set. How about the center? Well, we can sort of eyeball this and talk about that, the bulk of the data values are happening between 10 and 15. That's kind of the middle of the data set. Or we could say the mean is 13.71 or the median is 12 seconds to help capture where the center of this data set is. Third characteristic to talk about, variability. One option is to use the standard deviation and say the standard deviation of this data set is 6.5 seconds. You could also say something like most students estimated times between 5 and 20 seconds, with all guesses occurring between 5 and 30 seconds. Finally, unusual observations. A few students guessed very long amounts of time here. 30 seconds was a guess for 4 of the 48 students. Few words of caution when you're looking at dot plots and trying to describe them. First, the biggest mistake we see in students is that they focus on the nuances of the data. Students will say something like, there's an increase from 5 to 8, then a drop-off, followed by a spike at 10, another drop-off at 11, then a few values at 12 and 13. They're really focusing almost on every little detail of this distribution. Focus on the overall patterns and trends. We tried to do that in the example we just showed you. And also realize there's multiple right answers here. So, if you say the bulk of the data is between 8 and 20 and your friend says between 5 and 24, that's okay. We're giving sort of a subjective interpretation of the picture that we're seeing. Try to focus on the big picture and allow a little room for variation between different answers.